and you have a couple of millions of them like uprising. Or maybe a combination of the two. I don't know. But the whole thing is just idiotic.
I don't know how many attacks it will take for people to wake up. It's really hard.
I think the government should come together and actually give an ultimatum to all the Muslims, because they claim to be representative of all the Muslims in countries, that thus far and no more. And each time an attack like this happens, something is going to be stripped off from your privileges.
Dude, that's never going to happen. I mean, who do you think they're going to give an ultimatum? They are not. They don't even function as in like an institution, you know, like you give an ultimatum to us Catholics because we work in an institution, we have a centralized organization. Who are you going to give an ultimatum to? That's going to be Islamophobic and racist, and how dare you, you know, they're going to call you Hitler.
True.
If you do that.
Why do they
tough problem.
Why do they give them the authority or the permission to run such organizations? They made the Islamic organization in early 2000 in Hamburg, and it was 2024 that the Germany anti-terror police decided to close it in Hamburg, Germany.
Have they caught these guys yet? You guys know?
You ask? Look.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I don't know what
happened. Hello.
I'm here, Issa. I'm here.
Yeah, I just went to watch a little video Aya just sent me, and and when I returned, everyone was silent. Anyway, this is horrible and frustrating.
Yeah, I was trying to find his Clubhouse profile, but I don't have it, unfortunately.
Have never spoken with any of the people who...
Especially, it is unnerving, you know, having to hear people trying to justify
all the
this
people
shit.
who hate me, none of them have spoken with people who...
It's a tough day, and all my solidarity and thoughts to our Jewish friends of Australia and around the world. This is really tough.
Thank you, Aya.
Did you read Daniel's PTR? Says over 24 hours, a Muslim killed 3 Americans in Syria. 5 Muslims arrested for plotting a massacre at a Christmas market in Germany. A Paris concert to cancel due to Muslim violence. 2 Muslims murdered 12 people at the Hanukkah party in Australia. Yeah, it's clear that Islamophobia is out of control.
Told you what happened in Morocco. The people were half killed in Morocco by Muslims who get deep into this religion and they believe in that God's gonna get girls into them behaving.
And yesterday I sent, and I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I sent Daniel a video of this Israeli comedian. What's his name? Do you remember, Daniel? I'm not good at names. especially with like.
Sponder.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And he's pointing out the irony, right, in saying, I mean, when the Muslims say, oh yeah, because Israel is a colonizing power, and he's like, well, have you seen my country? You need to zoom in 17 times in order to find my country in a map. And not only that, but you cannot even fit the name Israel on the map. It's like, and you are saying that they are the colonizers. When you see the whole Muslim world that have what, 56 or so?
Yeah, you can write Saudi Arabia with Saudi Arabia. You can write with double spacing, and you still have enough room. And I always said, what do you? Of course, Saudi Arabia. What? Saudi Arabia? Well, maybe in 5 years.
Yeah. Maybe
but you know, Ethan, just to be fair, it's not the size of the territory that finds the the vigor and the force organization, but it's the actions. And you look, starting in 7th century on, Islam had been very open about how it wants to conquer the whole world, and it's been pretty forceful about it, militarily, physically, expanding its territory, expanding its influence and stuff. So I don't think that it's even a conversation of it.
Yeah, Jihadis was also saying before in the chat, for the Muslim, from the river to the sea, it just means from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Like these people are going for the whole world. And you're right, Andre. But the thing is that we want to say, oh, that's not really what they mean, like you're taking things out of context. They don't really mean that they want to conquer the world. They're just another religion.
It's on the same. It's in the same level as saying like, oh, Islam just means peace. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with submission or anything.
Right, it means it will turn you into pieces.
Huh? Sorry,
Yeah, it means it'll turn you into pieces. That's not the right piece word we can name it.
But honestly, like I'm more and more convinced that my hypothesis is correct in terms of that very toxic combination of expansionist mentality and the all-encompassing ideological foundation. Those two things together, they do not leave room for anyone else to exist, and so they become incompatible with anything, literally. Like nothing else can.
Andre, some sects of Islam turned into ethno-religions, like the Alevites, and the Ibadites, and they are kind of okay because they don't have this expansion fantasy. That's true.
And
the Sufis are also cool.
Yeah.
Sort of. But I think.
What?
But I think.
Your drink.
Daniel, I think you're hot micing.
Yeah, that makes
but I think also why I'm more and more convinced with my hypothesis is because that type of proposition can be applied to other ideologies outside of Islam. So, for example, with communism, right, or fascism, it's all-encompassing. It's expansionist, and basically it takes over all of the aspects of life, including like social engineering, political, everything.
That's not even like expansion through good ways, It's not even expansion through knowledge and, not forced conversions. It's expansion with war only.
Well, expansionism by itself is not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily become toxic. Like Christianity is also expansionist, but it allows the separation of like Caesar to like Caesar's to Caesar, and like spiritual to whatever, like like your priest or your community and stuff. So it allows that separation, and that what allows it to coexist with others. But when those two things are together, working in unison, then it's game over.
And the thing is that ideologies are totalitarian inherently because they only work if everyone is. It doesn't work if one person doesn't adhere to it. The same with communism. I mean, you cannot have communism working if you have one capitalist bastard in the middle of that population. So you need to force people to be communistic. And that's the reason why, quote unquote, it has never been truly implemented. And the same thing with Islam. It doesn't work if one bastard doesn't believe in Muhammad. You know, you have to force everyone. These are totalitarian ideologies that it's either everyone or no one. You know, well, actually no one, no, because that's the whole point of it.
Yeah, that's how you have peer policing in Sharia law, and you have honor killing, and you have apostasy laws exactly.
Islam is far more powerful than communism because, one, it is a word of God and it has lasted 1400 years. Communism has barely lasted a century. But more importantly, in Islam,
communism is pretty powerful too, and it's very dogmatic.
In Islam, a Muslim's child will become a Muslim and starts getting to the age of 5. In communism, you might get educated and you might dislike communism once you grow up to be 18. With Islam, it's impossible. You're brainwashed so deeply.
The problem is when you mix Marxism and socialism, communism with jihadism, that's where the danger.
Shiva, also as being the victim of whatever socialist regime, I have to tell you that they are very, very good. In fact, a lot of tactics that we see in the Middle East with those jihadist organizations are learned from Soviets, because Soviets became masters of propaganda and brainwashing and stuff. The same thing with the Chinese government. They start in fucking kindergarten. You don't just get education. You get a very specific political education embedded in whatever you're learning in the classroom. So it's one and the same.
Tell me one communist who has 4 wives who can give birth to 30 children. Okay, one communist in the world.
Okay,
yeah,
so
you're missing the point.
Yeah, it's irrelevant to your earlier position, because what you're saying is like, in communism you might get an education, but you're allowed dissent. You're not allowed dissent. And in fact, what is it called? They put you through struggle sessions. If you even voice any kind of dissent at the age of, I don't know, like in the first grade, in the second grade, they will get all of your, comrades in the classroom, and you'll be put through a struggle session as a child. Okay, so I mean they are very similar, if not same, in terms of the tools that they're using for it.
I think the point about the children is about how it spreads, not just this specific thing that the mushroom can have multiple wives, but about the fact that one mushroom can have, like, I don't know, 20 children, and this is how it expands, unlike communism.
Yeah, communism is for no family. It's to destroy the core of the family.
Exactly, they will self-destroy at some point in history. I was in a cab in New York a few weeks ago, and the driver was a Palestinian from the West Bank, and I asked him, like, how big is his family? He said, I have 8 sons. And I'm like, wow, that's a big family. All in America. They work as mechanics in a garage. And I was saying to him, wow, that's a big family. He said, no, it's not a big family. My cousin who lives in the West Bank, he's a grandfather. He has 112 grandchildren. 112 grandchildren in the West Bank.
Well, they're probably not alive, all of them.
Well,
That's another thing. I mean, like they might reproduce a lot, but they'll die very young because they're just like doing all this bullshit. And that's why you have very young populations. And when people say, "Oh my God, the children in Gaza," it's like, yeah, well, they're all like super young, and they're giving guns to 14-year-olds, 13 years old, 3-year-olds.
And so this is why I also I would not be so quick to dismiss socialism and communism. They did go through the stage in the early, I think, 20s where they were trying to destroy the family as a unit because they saw it as something that would distract from the communist future. But they very quickly learned that the society is going to collapse into itself. So when Stalin came to power, he became extremely conservative about family values. And there was even a whole program, like a state program, that would give medals and special financial aid to women who had more, I think, than 4 children. It was called the Heroic Mother. Very similar, by the way, to what Nazis were doing. I think Nazis actually kind of adapted the technique from them.
Look how many Chinese we have in America, right? Chinese students. Are they blowing themselves up? They're all coming from a communist country. All the Russians who come to the US, they might be pro-Russia, they might be anti-Ukraine, but are they blowing themselves up on the streets of America?
No, nobody is saying that one is a mirror of the other. It's in principle, just like the manipulation and the propaganda tactics. Nobody is saying that
I get it.
that Islam is a mirror of communism, but the methods they use in order to manipulate the minds of people is very similar.
I get it. My point is, Islam is 10,000 times more dangerous than communism.
They're both dangerous, and you know why? Because Islam, you can recognize it. Liberalism and communism, not so much. I mean, people do a lot of things under communism or socialism, because socialism is just like a lesser degree, right, than communism. But people do a lot of things in the name of the good, in the collective good. And so it is very disguised. A lot of people don't even know that they're supporting socialist ideas, but they are. Everyone that supports public education, public healthcare, tax collection, all of these are the path to socialism, the path to communism. And people might say, oh yeah, well, I'm not a communist. That's like, yeah, honey, you might not be there yet, but it's the same staircase. The difference is on what step you're on. Communism might be the top step of that escalator or of that staircase. And accepting taxes might be just like 2 steps on the staircase, but it's the exact same shit.
So, Isa, I would I disagree with you on that point.
And that's why you have very young populations. I don't care if you
No. I know
they're all like super young, and they're giving guns to 14-year-olds, 13 years old. Are you there? You went into Matrix?
And so this is why I also I would not be so quick to
just
dismiss.
Just to clarify to the rest of the people, if he never gets offended, he is in the Matrix.
It's socialist or communist. And
can you repeat your whole point, because you went in the Matrix?
Oh, so I would say that it's commonwealth is not a necessary path to socialism. Acknowledging that there is such thing as common motivation or common goals, that's not a path to socialism. I think that's just
when you transfer the wealth from the individual onto the collectivist, the collective, that is.
But that's not what commonwealth is. That's not what commonwealth.
Yeah, I never mentioned commonwealth. You brought up commonwealth.
But commonwealth, like all of the things that you're talking about in terms of education, state-sponsored programs, that is the idea of commonwealth as well. I mean, they share some features, but they don't necessarily mean they're the same. Well, I know you don't think so, but I think
because for commonwealth, you don't need to steal money from one to give to the other.
Yeah, so it's incorrect to make such a generalization as saying that collecting taxes or redistributing taxes for commonwealth type of goals is necessarily leading to socialism. That's incorrect. And the second thing I would urge you is to make a distinction between liberalism and socialism, communism, because socialism and communism are in direct opposition to liberalism and the values of the liberal.
Yeah, and what did I say? That said that they were liberal.
You said that it's liberalism, socialism, and communism. You put them all.
No, I didn't mention the word liberalism.
You did. I was listening. actively listing. You mentioned.
Oh, well,
I
then
would
I
just.
made a mistake because I think
That's
that
fine. That's
communism
fine.
and socialism
And
are the
I'm not
opposite on
harping.
liberalism.
Yeah, I'm not harping on that point. I'm just saying, just just be. It's an easy slip to make because we file them in the same category of left of center.
And just by the way, commonwealth doesn't require a distribution of the wealth. Commonwealth just means like things or public spaces or common stuff that should be shared by everyone. That is a commonwealth. It doesn't mean that I am going to make a claim on your property to give it to someone else that needs your property. A redistribution of the wealth is not common.
Are you collecting taxes in the Commonwealth to redistribute it for the common good?
No, but again,
Yes, you are.
Commonwealth doesn't redistribute the wealth.
So exactly. So this is why those are two completely different motivations and should not be filed.
Correct.
Just in such
And
general
I've never
terms
mentioned
of saying
Commonwealth.
collect the taxes. Isa, I'm just telling you that you need to be in terms of the way you define things. It will be helpful if you do a little bit sharper.
Socialism.
Definition.
Socialism is a redistribution of the wealth. You take forcefully from someone to redistribute to someone that doesn't have. Commonwealth is not that. Commonwealth could be some sort, let's say, of crown property that everyone makes use of it. That is not a redistribution.
Yes, and then please come again. Yes.
Yes, Daniel, we agree with you.
I wanted to come on for a second, if I could.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys. I have spent the morning, I can't even begin to tell you what is going on now because it's the first night of Hanukkah here. And there's, very large public displays where we have menorahs in public places and we have community leaders that light them and beautiful programs. I mean, we do this every year. And I mean, there's one almost every night. So it's just been, as well as people that are having them in restaurants or in private homes that are whacking out and incredibly nervous. So again, I live in a state that's a gun-friendly state, and people have learned to shoot, and we have shooting classes, and we've helped people get self-protection, but not all the states in the U.S. are this way. And clearly, to my Canadian friends who I really worry about, and Bibi, I don't know if he's on or not right now, and Rena, I mean, very, very concerned. So it's just a week of trying to now put all of this infrastructure that for the last few years we've been putting in place and putting it to work. But you have to be very diligent and very aware. Luckily, a lot of the local police departments have been exceptional, as well as the counterterrorism units that are part of FBI and fusion centers. If you saw what happened in Rhode Island, the fusion center there kicked in right away and got involved in it. But that's, we can't have any of these events without significant police presence. Significant.
Abby, you're just pointing out exactly why not exactly why, one of the reasons why I'm incredibly paranoid about some of the gatherings. Like, there was even a basketball, celebration in Toronto, and some gunman was there. So I've never really participated in large group activities like the Boston Marathon. I have an incredible, mass shooting, Ariana Grande kind of paranoia. So, but what's happening in Toronto is they're going to be having a Hanukkah demonstration in a Jewish area where there have been Palestinians walking around with Nazi signs calling Jews Nazis, like calling for a genocide without police enforcement whatsoever. So we're in Canada where they recognized the Palestinian state before the terms actually came to bear, before hostages were released. So all the terms that the government said the Palestinian Authority had to adhere to weren't, and then they started raising Palestinian flags in Toronto, and now there's going to be another celebration of Hanukkah in the Jewish area where there are still protesters doing counter demonstrations, not against Israel, but against Jews. So I appreciate you coming on stage and mentioning Canada, but this is like an ongoing issue in the Commonwealth, speaking of Commonwealth, in the UK, in Australia, in Canada, because all those dumb motherfuckers are supporting, this leftist jihadist narrative that these are the governments in charge, the ones that have been indoctrinated since the 90s to support this sort of Marxist jihadist agenda. So that's what we're dealing with. America, you guys are safe for now, but I'm very concerned about what's going to happen.
They're not that
They're
safe.
not that safe.
They're hold on. So like, I hear this, and I hear this from your group, and it pisses me off. Like, you shouldn't be feared. They're not safe in America. Fuck, there was a guy who fucking basically mall walkers that were Jewish got sprayed down and lit on fire. So like that shit is going on in America as well whenever Jewish people gather. My argument is that you've taken the nice approach. You tried to be humane. You tried to be passive. You tried to pacify all the critiques and criticisms. And you face a more verbal onslaught. You face a more direct attack. And then you have like Muslim leaders going, oh, we condemn the attack. But then tomorrow they're going to go right back to the rhetoric of anti-Semitism, targeting, oh, anyone from Israel, everyone with an Israeli descent is, Nazi or whatever fucking bullshit they're going to say. Stop being passive. Stop being that. Let your warriors off. Let the men who want to fucking support you.
1000%.
Let them go out there and take the souls from their body. Let them go meet whatever fucking sky daddy they pray to and end their bloodline and say, here you go. You want to target us? Here's what we do. And you may not, you may not like that approach, but you've been trying it your way and losing for, 75 years.
And nobody's
like, trust
doing
me.
that. Israel knows the idea, first of all. And in Canada, we're not allowed guns. The Jews in America are allowed guns.
Yes,
we're not.
yes, we are. Yes, we are. That's a lie.
Well, it's very difficult to get guns.
No, it's not.
Same
It's
in
not.
Australia.
No, it's not. There's a stigmatism here.
Okay.
And people,
well,
okay,
I'm not
it's not. Guns aren't illegal. You just need to be a legal gun owner, and like anywhere in the world. And the problem is,
you get arrested when you defend yourself in Canada.
Yeah, but that's okay. Would you rather be judged by 12 or carried by 6? I'd rather be judged by 12.
It's difficult in some parts in the United States, like in New York City. I mean, I just left a whole group of people, including some Canadians. But people are taking lessons. They're learning to shoot. They're buying guns. I mean,
self-defense, guys. The number one thing is you've got to be out there in the open.
I know how to shoot a gun, and I have.
No, it's not about that. You've got to be out in the open. The problem is they win when you're afraid to go to these protests. When you're afraid to go outside, they're like, look, they're scared. And then what they... I know, you've already voiced your opinion on that a couple years ago, but it's not about that. The point is, then they start walking into streets in Thornhill and Bathurst and Shepherd, and they start walking down public streets and terrorizing Jews because Jews are afraid to go to those events. You need to show them that you're not fucking afraid of them.
I mean, to the same extent,
and if you have to run one or two over, you run the fuckers over.
Baby, when you say to the same extent to Christians need to go to the markets in Germany. They have to be able to
everybody's got to get the fuck out of their house.
They have to be able to go to the Christmas markets. Like, we can't stop doing this. It's the same thing. I mean, Issa, we talked about this after the attack in Germany. You can't just not do it, but you have to be vigilant, and you have to also do a lot of background. I mean, we have plate readers. We read license plates. We know. So we're able to pick up. We have facial recognition. I mean, we're on top of as much as we can, but to say not to gather is also cowardly. You have to gather smartly.
I'm not saying not to gather. I said this was one of the reasons for me personally. Secondly, you guys are talking you're talking about people being naive and not defending yourself, but you're also not looking at the larger picture. We're literally dealing with governments who aren't protecting their Jewish communities, so that's fine. You want to have the Jews and the Christians get together, get their guns, and defend themselves to become. That's fine. I support that. I support that. But I'm saying that in Canada, anyone who defends themselves they go to jail, not the people.
That's
so what we
anywhere in
have
the
is
world,
an
young lady.
issue.
That's
No,
anywhere in the
Eddie,
world.
Eddie, don't.
Where we have the government in power that's supporting the jihadists.
Rena, so
Rina
like,
is saying, hold on. Rina is not saying anything outrageous. That is exactly what's happening in the UK as well. In the UK, somebody denounces a Muslim for rape, and the one that is being put in jail is the woman denouncing them for anti-Semitism, no, for Islamophobia. You know, so that is the thing. I mean, like,
I don't see a problem with the fucking Muslims that are marching, guys.
Hold on, baby.
Oh my God.
Europe and Canada, they work backwards.
so I just want to say this.
No, that's
I want
not
to say
true,
this.
though. It's not
Wait,
true.
hold on. So your fear is, oh, I'm going to go to jail or I may die, and that's true. You may get killed. You may go to prison. You may get beaten. But is it better to be beaten? Would you trade all this time and all that effort, give it all up because you're being targeted now? Would you live in fear for the rest of your days and acquiesce to this, or would you stand and fight? Wait, no, I let you go, but let me finish. We all have responsibility. I have children too.
I'm not going to sacrifice myself for my family.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So you know what? Go ahead. Everybody can cut. She can cut everybody off. I'm saying you're going to live in fear the rest of your day, and your family is going to live in fear. Your family is going to be targeted. You're going to suffer what your decision. Okay, there you go. Never mind. I get it.
Me, so you can speak in generalities, but don't speak for me or.
He's not speaking for you, but you're speaking for people in general.
You're saying to live in fear. I'm not. That's not where I'm coming from.
Well, it sounds like that.
To look at the top-down issue, which is like what Issa was saying, is that we're dealing with a larger issue here than just people going to rallies. Like, it's a bigger problem. And I'm just trying to get you to acknowledge that and to see, like, what do you do about the fact that women who are, accusing gang rapers who are Pakistani Muslims in the UK, and there's no enforcement. We have a larger societal issue in Canada, UK, and Australia.
Nah, man, that's not true, though, guys. I've been Shepherd for the past fucking 107 weeks. For 700 fucking days, I've seen one of the most powerful, strongest women in Canada show up every fucking Sunday to protest for our hostages to come back, stood there day and night, and protest loud and proud without fear, and went to their Instagram, went to their Facebook and said, fuck you. We're Jews and we're not going anywhere. And they went there and made themselves uncomfortable, put themselves comfortable in uncomfortable situations, not for them, for their children and their grandchildren. They did it selflessly to show that we're not afraid of you. Even if they are afraid, they're showing them, fuck you. We're going to show up and we're going to march every fucking Sunday. Whether it was raining, there was no excuse that they didn't show up. They showed up every fucking Sunday.
The other thing that you do is what I just finished doing this past week, is you go to your legislators, you go to Washington, you knock on fucking doors, and you tell them that you
knock on fucking doors.
People from coming up to the front of the synagogue and trying to attack it in the name of free speech. And you get your congressman, you get your local representatives, and when in Canada you go to your representatives and you try to enact laws, because Rena, if you think it's from the top and it's a bigger issue, then you've got to attack the bigger issue by the rule of law in the nations that you live in. And you go to your representatives and you did
that. I was
and continue to do it. Just so continue to do it. It's not a one-shot deal.
2 years,
and unfortunately, you have to spend another year.
I can't even get into why it was, but yeah, no, I'm still engaged politically. Yes, it's not something I speak of, but that's really the only way to, okay, fine, rally at a protest, fine, good, great, that's great. But the people who are in power, I agree with you, Abby. That's exactly where it needs to go. But anyway, I'm right.
But
the people that are in power are going to these protests. Michael Kerzner, he goes every Sunday. Melissa Lantsman, she's a member of parliament, the MP, she goes every Sunday. They go there to see, and it makes them proud, and they get to go with chutzpah whenever they go and fight Congress, and they fight the government. What?
That's their job. job to go.
So what? You know how many fucking politicians don't do their job, but now they see that there's people that they have to fight for that are putting them to account and holding them to accountability, and they're like, look, if we're fighting, you need to fight even harder for us, and they're proud to fight for them because they see.
I don't know, if you're so scared, just move to Israel. I don't know, like, if you're so scared.
I'm not talking about my fear.
So, just move to Israel then. I don't understand.
You are talking
proud
about your
being
fear.
scared.
You are.
Then just go to
I'm saying that
Where did Brad go?
do not go to that.
He left because he kept getting cut
That was
off.
just one of them.
I already texted him again to come back, but
Me personally, I'm not gonna let these people scare me ever. Never have, never will. Even before today, none of this shit's new. This is not new news what these people do, okay? A terrorist attack is not a new thing. We already know this already. So, you know, it's either you're scared, you live in fear the rest of your life, which that's what they want. That's exactly what terrorism is. Or you don't live with fear. Because life is too short to live with fear and too sweet to live with fear. So, I would never. Doesn't matter if I have a gun or not to protect myself. But there's always solutions for everything. So, can't sit here and cry about it because that's not going to do anything.
I don't know who you're talking about because I'm not currently with it. So.
Oh yeah, you weren't? No, sounded like you were.
No,
Did anyone say in the room? I talked to Rowan last night, right after I heard this. He was in Melbourne. He's fine. He's trying to reach everyone. I have friends that are in Sydney, and then all of a sudden I see the picture of Arson with the blood all over his head. I mean, which is just like mind-boggling to see that. Have they released the names?
I'm not
I just
sure.
know the rabbi.
Somebody was saying that it was a Pakistani and an Afghani, but I don't think they've released
Oh, it
the
was
names of the
They
attackers.
released the names of the shooters. Yes, they did.
the shooters, Pakistani and Lebanese, maybe. I thought
Pakistan and then was in Afghanistan. So he migrated. He was like originated in Pakistan, went to Afghanistan, from Afghanistan went to Australia, and he was, he was like, like there was some mosque sort of thing going on. You can look it up.
So how do you feel about Trump's policy now to check social media back a couple years before someone comes into the country?
I mean, I'm
100%.
And to vet it.
You don't think they already do that, Abby?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent now under this administration.
They also like check your eye. They do that. Like if you're not American, they they do the eye thing. I don't know. Like there's MAGA security. They didn't do that to Canadians before, but now that they're coming through Canada into the States, so now they're doing it to everyone coming in from Canada too.
What are they doing?
They're like registering your what's the things in the eyeball?
Your retina?
Yeah. They're screening it and they're saving it and they're using it as identifiers in the event that you can, like you're in some sort of larger database.
So it's like more than a fingerprint, huh? Because a fingerprint you can change, I guess.
Yeah, no, it is. It's much more. Yeah, it's definitely like a more fingerprint. But I don't care because I'm not a terrorist, so it doesn't matter to me. But that's something they didn't do to Canadians before. But now with the policies, for sure, I totally agree with it. Everything America says that's bad about Canada or Canadians, I actually 100% agree with. But anyway.
I had my last trip to the UAE going in, I had to take my contacts out right at the entrance. It was weird. They just, and they did the retina scan, but they wouldn't let me in the country unless I took the contacts out. I wonder if that's what they'll do now coming in. If they do a retina scan here.
To America?
Yeah.
No, they won't do it if you're American.
No, I mean for a foreigner coming in, if they're doing a retina scan, if they do that.
Yeah.
I wonder how soon what we are seeing is these ICE raids. I wonder how soon that's going to start in Australia or anywhere in Europe.
Never.
They've actually been deporting.
Why do you say never?
Quietly. They have been deporting people quietly from Australia, from Europe, and from Canada, just very quietly, because of the attempt of, population are not happy with that idea. So it's not hasn't been publicized. But if you were to Google it, you will see that there has been a lot of deportations already.
Wow. It's such a polarizing topic here in the
But not
U.S.
enough, clearly. Not enough.
Right.
Wow.
It's such a polarizing topic
It's
in
just
the
so dumb
U.S.
to me in the
So
States
many
that people don't want to like get rid of illegal migrants. I mean, I've been waiting 15 years to get to America legally. Why do they get to jump the line? Do I have to like fly into El Salvador and like walk through to Mexico to get in?
You should try to fly so you get points. No, the New York Times, they must have a reward out there because they have endless stories about a girl who came here at the age of 4, finished high school, was a great student, now in college. Oh, at the airport she was flying home. Oops, she was detained by ICE. That is the story that we are reading in the New York papers consistently, how unfair the whole thing is. I guess, and these kids are called dreamers.
That's not unfair. Like, if you come into a country illegally and don't go through the proper channels to guarantee that you are there legally, it's called, it's called fair, actually. That is fair that you get kicked out of the country.
Yeah, well, it's a very polarizing topic here,
Yeah, I understand that.
No, it's only polarizing for the lefties that disagree with it.
They just think that there should be open borders and it should be like this mass global.
No, it's not. I guess they want an
You
exception.
saw what happened in Colorado, right? To the guy who threw the fucking fire bombs on the old Jewish people that were just marching for the hostages that they were doing every single week. That guy came in he came in with a regular travel visa, overstayed his travel visa, and he was here in the country illegally, and it was during the Biden administration. I mean, imagine how many more of these motherfuckers are here right now.
Right.
So yes, they should deport every one of these motherfuckers. I don't care if they're part of the cartel. I don't care if they're part of Hamas. It doesn't matter. They all need to be deported.
They said one of these shooters was a watch list in Australia. But
Of course he was.
Yes.
To go and actually find this guy and take him into custody, something would be called Islamophobic. And in Australia, they can't have that. They can't be Islamophobic there. No.
Well, that's mostly the urban centers that are full of the left fundamentalists, like Canada, like the States. But the rural areas, they're actually very nationalistic, Christian, actually. It's just the city centers like Sydney and Melbourne that are causing the most grief. Anyways, this isn't new. I mean, look what just happened. When was it? The holiday in the UK. Like, all the jihadists are using Jewish holidays to. They're like, oh, great, they're all in one place.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not new. Like, from when I was a little kid, I mean, I remember seeing police at my synagogue, for Yom Kippur and all the high holidays, like, all the time. So I just don't understand, and it was even before then also. So, I mean, I just don't understand where the mentality, especially after what's happened in the last couple of years and all the fucking anti-Semitic shit that goes around the internet and all this vile shit that people put in their heads and they've brainwashed the world with. They just think it's okay to just go to, and I saw some videos of some people just, inside of the celebration there on the beach, and it was a lot of people. And it was people with their kids, family.
There. It is a Jewish area, actually. And
so it's just scary.
Event shit that happens there. But you know what? If you want to talk about naivete, how about the naivete of the Jewish communities in Canada, UK, and Australia, thinking that they can just go and gather without security, that the government's going to protect them, that the police are going to be there and enforce it, that they're actually doing their jobs with intelligence and making sure there aren't jihadists that are like swarming around Jews and Jewish events. Like, that's what's been going on. In the UK, they had holidays and there was a shooting there. In Australia, Bondi Beach, shooting there. I mean, you know, the government has been enabling it, and the Jewish communities of Canada, UK, and Australia are naive to think that they can do these things without more security. We had security before, now they need more, because the government certainly isn't going to help them.
Well, that's exactly my point.
Or they need to get out.
They feel like so safe around a government that will never protect them. So yeah, I don't know.
We had an MP here who was celebrating Hanukkah, one of the fucking Liberal parties, Mr. Housefather, who's like the token Jew of the Liberal Party, and he made this announcement saying, Happy Hanukkah, just so you know, Canada is one of the safest places for Jews. Not really, no. Why are all the Jewish communities under threat every single weekend? Why are there...
Who did that? Who did this?
Housefather.
Uh-oh.
He just posted on Instagram. It's like, no, it's not. Like, it's just a matter of time. But
We need more guys like Roman Barber, bro.
Why can't the governments be sued for not
they
forcing
are
the
being
law?
sued currently, actually. There are many lawsuits against them right now. Human rights lawsuits about them not enforcing the law, not enforcing hate crimes. Did you know that the person who's in charge of the hate crime unit in Toronto, Canada, went on public, like in a video, saying how October 7th led to a number of reverts? This is the head of the hate crime unit. The one that's supposed to protect the Jews.
Well, obviously that's a joke. Obviously that person's a joke, and the hate crime unit is a joke.
Yeah, no kidding. Yet again, you have the naivete of the Jewish community thinking, we're in a Western country, the government's going to protect us, we pay taxes.
Look, you're right, Rena, but there's a reason why, every synagogue, to fully make it secure, could end up spending...
It's a bunch of it's the Jewish
the money, let me finish my sentence. The cost is $300,000.
Doesn't matter. Government gives out a grant right now for $195,000 to every single synagogue that applies. The problem is the motherfuckers aren't applying. They're giving them there's grants for every single synagogue for security. And they're not applying. Yeah, they're not.
Why would you not apply? I don't know.
Because they're ignorant. Because they... Listen, as much as I love our people, they're saying Hashem will protect us. During the crazy,
It doesn't make sense. What do you mean?
What do you mean it doesn't make sense? I'm part of the security sector here. I know what's going on. There some people that are taking the money, and then they're getting security companies, and then there's good Jewish, like ex-IDF soldiers that run good security companies here. They refuse to use them, and they're using the brown guys that are charging $18 an hour, and they're using them, and they don't do shit. And the people that actually know what they're doing, they don't want to use them because they're like, it's too much money. But you're fucking getting the money free from the government to pay for it, and they're not.
I mean, how do they actually give the grants?
No, they give the grants. I helped a couple of schools get it.
Great.
You're teaching me about things I didn't know, and I didn't know that because I haven't heard that happening in the U.S. My
Why
friends.
should there be a Jewish tax, though? The Jewish tax being that we have to pay for Jewish schools, plus we have to pay for our own security. You know?
Well, that's what we're talking about.
But our Jewish schools aren't accredited.
Yeah, we know it's. Hey, by the way, Rena, anti-Semitism is bullshit too. We know that.
No kidding.
So
but
we're
the
past
Muslims,
that.
they gotta pay for them too, guys. Come on, it's not. Unless it's a Catholic or Christian school, the government's gonna pay for it. But Jewish schools aren't paid for it. But they also don't. The Jewish school also doesn't fall into the curriculum, so they don't give. There's a big problem with that too.
In America, it's different, bro. I mean, because they have private Catholic and Christian schools too, and Jewish schools are considered private.
You have to pay too for some private Catholic schools, but there's no funding for the Jewish ones.
Most of the synagogues here, they have protection. There's even a Jewish day school here where I live. Every day there's a fucking sheriff officer parked in front of the fucking... You can't even get inside without passing by it. So, it's all fenced off and everything. That's on the establishment themselves to make sure that their congregation, that their
100%.
students
Yeah.
are all fucking safe.
Yeah. So there's a Jewish school on Chess Alness that's been shot up 4 times.
I've served in the U.S.
That
National
has
Security apparatus.
24-hour police car in the parking lot. But all of these congregations, I know of other congregations, they call, like, for Hanukkah, they call for Yom Kippur, they call for Purim, and they'll send police officers. But the problem is they're not doing it. And I'm not joking, man, when I'm telling you, they say Hashem will protect us. It's like crazy. Yeah, Hashem will, but you give you free will. You gotta make decisions for yourself.
Yeah, like people like your cousin, bro, who have companies like that. If I was the leader of a congregation, those are people that I would hire more than the police, actually, to tell you the truth, because even the police are still not super reliable, to tell you the truth. There's school shootings that happen here in America, and they have police officers in the school, and they still happen. You know, the one that happened in Texas a couple years back, the police officer ran away from the school.
Wow.
They were running away. That's why I don't trust the police.
It's like Shomrim in Brooklyn. Shomrim in Brooklyn show up a lot quicker than the cops do.
Yeah, so we have Shomrim here in Canada as well, like that my family's involved in. And same thing, they show up first. They're on scene of like every one of those protests, as well as like Herut's Tactical Solutions. They've been to every single one of those events. But like, yeah, these, like, I don't know, it's like Jews have to defend themselves. I kind of understand what Rena's saying, but at the same time, we can't let it get to us, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of programs we're just not utilizing them. And they kind of want us not to. The government doesn't give a fuck. We have some good speakers, like Pierre Poilievre, the guy that was running against Mark Carney. His right-hand person is Melissa Lantzman, who's a very proud Jew. And she's very, like, loud and well-spoken. She'd be, like second in command. She never, ever stopped. She keeps going to every Jewish event. She does that, like, you know, and Roman Daber, he also does that. He speaks up loud and proud. But these people, I don't know, man.
Yeah, they speak up, and they also lose popularity because
because of speaking up.
That are speaking about the sort of jihadism and radicalism that's occurring.
Yeah.
So they're also not in power, and they keep losing people from liberals that are having to walk over, trying to get a majority to.
They did.
I know they did, but we're not a majority yet. They still have one short.
I thought 3 walked over.
No, 2.
Oh. That's crazy.
How fucked up. Sorry, I missed your message before.
That's fine.
Like, even if you hear the gun minister, the firearm minister, the chief firearms, like, it's the
retard.
Oh my God, Harry, you have to check out this guy. Like, he talks about.
He doesn't even know English.
He doesn't even know anything. He's never fired a gun. He knows nothing about fucking guns. They even caught him on a hot mic saying, "I don't know what the fuck I'm doing." Like, the guy's...
Wait, this is a minister? What is this?
He's in charge of the firearms, and he's banning a bunch
in the whole country?
Crazy as shit, bro.
In the whole country or a
Yeah.
province?
Yeah, for the whole country.
He has no idea, like, that
This is the Peter principle at work.
it is. It is. 100%. That's exactly what it is.
Phoebe, are you aware of the Peter principle?
No.
God.
It says everyone rises to their level of incompetence in an organization.
It's like he's maxed out because he's so dumb. Like,
Exactly.
He can't actually do his job. He's reached his level of incompetence. But that's the whole Liberal Party, really. I mean, the only way that they're in power is by changing boundaries and, like, manipulating people and, you know, giving handoffs to their cronies. So, you know, they
Also, did you see the health minister, Rena?
Which one?
That lady with the hijab.
The fat one? The fat lesbian?
Yeah, she's fucking obese.
Fat trans obese lesbian.
And she's telling people how to eat. It's the
has
funniest
diabetes.
shit. Yeah.
Sure.
You know what's pretty
Created diabetes.
interesting is one prominent member of Mamdani's transition team is a trans
actual trans
woman. Yeah, is a trans
woman
woman rabbi, former rabbi.
No, current rabbi. Current.
Oh, is he? No, sorry.
Trans rabbi.
Former member of a Hasidic community.
An anti-Zionist rabbi.
Right. That transitioned and is now a reform rabbi.
No,
and anti-Zionist. That is just.
This is like Idiocracy with.
I love that movie. You turned me on to that movie.
Like where the wrestler becomes, and he just like hires the dumbest people to.
Yeah,
He's like, that's the educationist. He's retarded.
Yeah, it has electrolytes.
Somebody's cousin.
Oh, that movie is priceless.
Yeah, well, now we're living it. It was prophetic, really. Yeah, I don't know. You got like a bunch of dumb people in power doing dumb things, destroying civilization. I mean, it's not really a good time.
And whose only qualification is that they're DEI hires.
Oh, God, don't even get me started on that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They're not competent in what they do.
Well, the Liberal government botched that. Now they started letting go of all the minorities and women, like, first thing, because Justin Trudeau is Pratt. Now he's dating Katy Perry.
Yeah, how's that working out for him?
Really great. I mean, they're both stupid, so obviously I think it's a perfect match. Seriously, they're both dumb. So it's actually a match made in heaven. I think it's gonna work.
This is this is what I have to think about Pierre Trudeau.
I mean, I thought I was hoping he'd crawl under a rock and disappear forever, but no.
This is what he wore when he went to the Biden White House.
I can't see anything.
Well, it's just.
Was he wearing his blackface or Indian?
No. So I'll describe it. Others can look at it. These really beautiful brown shoes, although he completely destroyed it with blue shoelaces.
Oh,
and then he has
the rainbow socks.
Then he has red, white, and some darker blue socks, and then he has a beautiful blue suit. So each of these separately are beautiful things. Together, it's like a mishmash of color. It's just like the shoes are wonderful. The suit is wonderful. The socks are kind of interesting, but I would never wear them. But he put them all together, and literally all the cameras went from taking pictures of his head to taking pictures of his feet.
Socks, feet, yeah, he's a clown. Destroyed Canada. Now Mark Price works. Have you read Mark Price? I've read the prologue. You should take a look at that because he's actually dangerous. He's like a Hitler in the making.
Ooh, that's scary.
He's really dangerous if you listen to some of his rhetoric. I don't know how he's managed to get into positions of power such as he has because the guy's insane. And I don't understand how people can read his book and listen to his rhetoric and think that he should run a country. Like, he destroyed the UK economy, according to the former Prime Minister of the UK.
Wait, how did he go from UK to Canada? Does that work in the Commonwealth?
He was born in Canada, and then he was working as the chief of the UK Bank of England.
Hi, Erica.
And he, according to the Prime Minister, destroyed the economy there. Then he went to go lead some other investment books or something in the United States. And he's been in the United States for 10 years. And then the Liberal Party flew him in because they needed to get rid of Justin Trudeau. And Pierre Poilievre was like leading in the polls. The minute that they flew Mark Carney in, they voted him in Prime Minister within themselves. Okay. And then had an election and convinced the Liberal supporters that he was going to be different. And shit. Sorry, on the highway. Yeah, and then managed to convince the Liberals that he was going to be different from Justin Trudeau, and then he won somehow. and then he had to, what do you call it? Get rid of his American citizenship. Like, he hasn't been in Canada for 10 years, and now he's the prime minister.
Wait, why did he have to get rid of it?
Because you're not allowed to hold multiple citizenships when you're prime minister of the country.
Problem. I wonder how that works. You just write a letter and send it to the State Department, I renounce my citizenship, and send them back your passport?
Yeah, pretty much. The whole process.
Or you go to court? I wonder how that works.
No, you do not go to court. You just fill out a form, pay a fee, submit your passport.
Brookfield.
I woke up this morning at 5:30 and I'm like, holy shit, what happened in Australia? I was like, is this real? Like, did this really happen? I was
Nothing
traumatized.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
That's
a normalization
I'm
of
with my
this.
daughter, so yeah, it's a bit shocking because when I went there, it was so peaceful. I can't tell you how lovely Bondi Beach is, and like the idea that there was a shooting on that beach is unfathomable to me still. Like, I'm so
Isn't that the A+ beach to go to? Like, if you said, I want to go to, if you said to a travel agent, I want to go to Australia and go to a beach and, like, just hang out on the beach, wouldn't they, like, book a place and they would say, go to Bondi Beach or Bondi Beach, however you pronounce it?
Bondi. I would not say it's like the best beach in all of Australia, but in Sydney, it's a tourist destination point, and it's like, how do I describe it? What are the Hamptons for you? Like, it's not. It's just like, it's a very high end tourist destination point, very popular, and also lots of Jews in the area. There's a lot of Jews, so it's beautiful, and a lot of people hang out there. I guess it's like a Central Park kind of thing, like, you know, Upper West Side kind of thing, but like off a beach. The beach is not that swimmable, but it's just a very popular place. It's in the city, so you can take a bus there. It's convenient. And lots of people hang out there. I mean, and a bunch of hippies. They hang out there like every Saturday or Sunday, and they're doing like drumming circles. It is a very peaceful place. There's never any violence. Australia in general is usually, like, people are very chill, and they're not used to the international kind of like world. They're very isolated there. They're very, but you know, it's definitely going to shift things. I hope, and I hope it gets the Liberal Party in power. I mean, the party there is the Conservative Party, so I hope it gets, I think, Labour out of power and gets a more conservative government. But let's see what happens to New York, right? I mean, Mondani is not exactly a Jew supporter. I mean, what happens when you elect a jihadist for the biggest Jewish community in the United States, and he then hires all of his jihadist Marxist cronies into positions of power? What do you think is going to happen in New York? I mean, that wasn't a rhetorical statement, but just my concern.
What's going on? Alpha, what's going on, buddy? Aleph, how are you? Oh, J-Lo. Hi. Jihadi. Hi, Danny. Aya. Oh. What's up, everybody? It's in the audience. Should we change the title of the room? Get it pumping in here? What's up, Danny?
You should leave it for them.
What? You're the leader?
You should leave
Hey, Danny,
it.
sorry for your loss.
Mm-hmm.
What happened, J-Lo? What happened, Danny?
I don't know how she found out anyway.
Are you okay? What happened? Should we have a party?
Definitely not.
What happened, Danny? Your goldfish died? Fuck. I don't want to beg. What happened? Danny. She left. What happened, J-Lo? Don't tell me Nemo died?
Yeah, she lost somebody in her family.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'll let her tell who she wants.
Yeah. Respectable. Was it a pet or a human?
A human.
Oh, fuck. Guantanamera. Wow, I still can't believe the news, and I woke up to a bunch of texts, but fucking idiots. Wonder what Amir's room's gonna be about today. Rena's back. Guess who's back? Back again. Rena's back. Rena's back.
The room just by talking. So.
Is that what happened? Because I was like playing on, I'm doing work on a computer, and I looked down. I heard you talking, and then I looked down again, and I'm like, you were asking a question, nobody responded. So I'm like, did everybody leave? Oh my God.
Well, because I apparently can be very intense when you start speaking.
Oh yeah, extremely
I find that
intense.
really uncomfortable.
It's unsettling. Yeah.
Exactly. Just like starts to like boil up into internal grief and emotional anguish, and then they get uncomfortable because they don't know how to respond. And also, I overtalk everybody, so I don't really give anyone an opportunity to say anything. Once I get started,
It's hard to stop.
yeah, I mean, I'm in the car and I'm drinking coffee. What else am I supposed to do with my time?
Yeah.
Overtalk people. And also the room itself, like I'm in the car, I can't fix the room. So if people want to come up, I can't let them up. I mean, they can't. It's not a listening room, so nobody can come up.
Absolutely. You got what in your pants?
And then he had to, what do you call it, get rid of his American citizenship.
What's up, Professor? Come on up.
Hey, are you guys sleeping? I'm like, why is no one talking?
No, we're doing 15 minutes of silence.
I'm gonna join you guys in the silence. I'm sorry.
No problem. Well, we're done. We're done. We're done. Do you want to talk about something? We're talking about dreams. What was your dream last night?
I don't remember, but I did wake up to the news of Australia, and I'm just angry and
Okay.
I don't know. Words can describe how I feel.
Absolutely.
We record a book reading.
It's just tiring. This is tiring.
I'm just anticipating what Amir's room's going to be like today, later. Amir.
Nothing. They just have all these excuses.
Do you still go into his room? Does he allow you in?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Every day.
Oh, he won't let me in. I haven't been in his room in like 6 months.
No.
I don't even go anymore. It's disgusting. What do you like? You're not gonna convince that dude of anything, you know? Like
No, it's not there to convince them. I'm hoping that I frustrate them enough
people that go there.
No, I'm hoping that I frustrate them enough that they have an aneurysm.
No, they're just.
No, I'm serious. That's what I'm hoping.
They're like, no. What you know when they were? Let me tell you. I mean, let me see who's in the room. There was a time where Amir, he was losing his marbles. That was the 12 days of the war, Iran-Israel war. It's so funny, like, and it just shows that this is nothing to do about Israel or the land, and this has to do with Islam, you know, and their ideology. Because when they realized it was very close for IRGC to be like gone, you know, they couldn't take it. He blocked me. Amir has never blocked me. He has always let me say whatever I want in his room, write whatever I want in his chat. I was blocked for maybe for a few days to a week. Once that war was over, he unblocked me. But I did get on his nerve, you know.
Nice.
But that was the time that I think that was the only time they were close to having an aneurysm.
Gotta try every day. Every day.
I love it. I love it. But this thing is just so sad. I'm so angry. I'm angry.
Oh, I know. Everybody.
I made a post on Facebook. I'm like, bring back Islamophobia. Not that the word exists, but people need to talk about this shit.
Yeah.
Has anyone take the responsibility for it?
No, no clue.
My friends are in Australia. They were saying, I mean, I don't know. This was when I woke up. I saw chat comments. They were saying somehow someone was blaming it on IRGC, but I know they've already condemned it.
Yeah, I heard something about Israel. If Israel finds that IRGC was behind this,
what I
any
did in
which
Chicago
way,
in
that
4 days.
I don't know how true this is, but what I heard, somebody talking about this in a room earlier, that Trump will give Israel the green light. But I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Well, if that is true, I think that would start like a war, like a real war. But I don't think they would do that. To be honest with you, Bibi, I don't see them. They don't want to go. You know, they know this is going to be the end of them. Did we lose them? Are you there, baby, or are you phone?
I'm back.
Yeah.
They changed the title.
This is just disgusting stuff, you know, and this is an example of why Pip is gone. I wanted him to hear this, but he's gone. But this is why you don't give Mike to fucking terrorists.
What did I miss? Did I miss someone?
100%. We have to
he was in the
deplatform
room. He
him.
was in the room. I wanted him to hear me, but I wish I had just started talking before he leaves. This is why you don't give fucking Mike to terrorists and mock and joke. There are certain things you can't fucking joke. They first have to become history, you know. Then you can joke about anti-Semitism. When we're dealing with this shit, I mean, I say we.